Hey everyone, welcome to Buick Outdoors. If you're new around here, my name is Sheldon Marion, and today we're out here where we were a couple of weeks ago, out kind of exploring our property, and we came across this tree here that's just loaded with turkey tail mushroom. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to come out here, we're going to pick a bunch of it, take it home, and then we have a few things that we're going to be doing with it. Well, I'm by no means a mushroom expert, so before you come out and pick any mushrooms, make sure you actually do some research and talk to a person that is a mushroom expert. From everything that I've read and researched, from what I can tell, this is a turkey tail. I'll show a couple of different little close-ups of this, but from what I've seen, that they come in different kind of colors and stuff, but then it also has the very distinctive turkey tail look to it. And then on the underside, it has a bunch of pores. It's not gilled, and it's also on a dead poplar tree. So with that, I'm fairly confident that it's turkey tail, but I'm not 100% confident because, like I said, I'm not a mushroom expert. One thing that I did read is even the lookalikes aren't poisonous to a person, so I'm fairly confident that we can use this, ingest it, do whatever that we're going to do with it, and not get sick. But anyways, with this here, there's all sorts on this tree, so we're gonna pick it, try to clean it as much as possible, and once we get a good amount of it, we're gonna take it into the house. And I think I might throw it in the dehydrator a little bit because it still is fairly soft on the outside here. So I'm going to dehydrate it, and then we can grind it up into powder, and you can throw it into coffee. You can make a tea with it. If you have a little capsule filler like I got at the house, you can make up your own little mushroom capsules and you take them. And you can also do an alcohol tincture. With that, you need typically vodka, Everclear, anything that's kind of over 20% alcohol, and it absorbs all of the nutrients with turkey tail. Come on, boys. With turkey tail, though, it is water soluble, so you can get the majority of the good stuff, we'll call it, out of the mushroom if you just make a tea. But to get absolutely everything out of it, you almost need the alcohol tincture. But in our case today, I think we're gonna pretty well do all the ways possible. With the tincture though, that's a bit of a longer process, so that'll be like a part 2 of a video kind of a thing. But for right now, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pick this until we have a good amount. And this tree is pretty well covered in it. There's a branch over there that has a little bit more on it too, so we're gonna get enough where it'll be enough for us. I think my brother wants some, then I might be giving some to a neighbor as well. So we're gonna sit here, we're gonna pick as much of this as possible, and with this stuff, I don't think you can really over harvest it, especially on a tree like this. It's already dead, starting to rot. So yeah, we'll pick until we have enough, and then we will head into the house and start working on our other little projects with this stuff. Hi, Adventure Cat.
These ones are really small, they're a little tricky.
So one other thing that's growing on this tree is, I believe this is horsehoof fungus. And if it is, it's kind of like a tinder fungus. So with this, I'm going to yank this off. As long as it's brown on the inside, I'm pretty sure this is tinder fungus. So with this stuff, if you cut it in half and it's brown, You can scrape it up, and if you hit it with like a little magnesium striker, it'll catch a spark real easy, and it'll sit there and burn for a pretty long time. What won't burn, but it'll kind of smolder and give you enough heat to get a fire going here. So what I'll do is I'm gonna put this down, and I'm gonna give it a cut, and we'll see what color it is. Oh yeah, nice and soft. Alrighty, so took out the old buck knife, cut around it, and there you go. Nice and brown on the inside. You have all these strands of stuff. And if you take your knife, you should be able to scrape it. And I believe that stuff will start a fire. See how it just kind of turns into powder. Maybe. Like I said, I'm not a mushroom guy. I'm not even much of a bushcraft guy. So if this is the right stuff, leave a comment and let everybody know. But anyways, I'm going to hold on to this, and maybe I'll do something with this later on down the road here. Alrighty guys, so we got back into the house here, and we have all of our mushrooms laid out here, and they're all fairly clean. I pulled off any little sticks and twigs and stuff. Some things that you'll see is a lot of people, they'll take the bottom edge here and they'll actually cut that off. Just remove any of the tree that's left over, but to me it's whatever. It's a little bit of tree, I'm not too concerned. So what we're going to be doing with this is two things today. Because I don't want to set up the dehydrator and let that run to make some capsules. Plus we don't have overly too much, and I really want to make a tincture. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put a bunch into the old coffee grinder here. And I'm going to take, I don't know, maybe about a handful of it. And I got this pot of spring water on the go here. And what we'll do is we're going to simmer that handful of ground up mushrooms for about 30 minutes or so, and then that'll pull out the majority of stuff. And then once that's done, I'll just throw it into the French press, so we're not chewing on any mushrooms, and we'll make a tea with it. And then all the rest is gonna get ground up, put into this mason jar, and we have some vodka that we're gonna make a tincture with. So that all being said, I'm gonna grind this up, get her going in the pot, and then we'll start making our tincture. So the water's come up to a boil now. So I turned it right down to about a 3 there. And you don't want to boil it, because when you boil it real heavy, it kind of, in a sense, almost burns all the nutrients that are in the mushroom. So what you want to do is you just want to kind of simmer it. And the reason why that we grind this up is that way the mushroom has more surface area for your solution to draw out everything, and your solution being either water or vodka. So what we're going to do, I have my little scooper here. That's what I use for my coffee in the morning. It's about a tablespoon. So I'll take, I don't know, maybe 2 tablespoons. What the heck, let's go 2.5-ish. So we'll do that. We'll grab ourselves a spoon here, we'll mix that all up. And then basically we're just gonna let this sit and simmer for about 30 minutes. And this will just draw everything out. And then after 30 minutes, we'll pour this into the French press. And we're just using the French press just as a filter. If you don't have a French press, paper towel will work, cheesecloth, coffee filter, anything like that. And now that we have that done, we're gonna grab our mason jar and we'll grab the rest of our mushrooms here. And what we're gonna do, we'll fill this probably about halfway full. I don't know how much this will take, but we got extra mason jars if we need them. And now that we have this, really about half full. You could do a little less, but we're gonna stick with that. We're gonna take our handy dandy vodka, and we're just gonna fill this up right close to the rim here. And then we can take our lid, throw that on here. What we'll do is we'll tighten her up, and then pretty well just shake this around so that everything is kind of coated in vodka, and then that way it'll really start to draw out the nutrients and all that good stuff. So there you have it. That's gonna sit there and work its magic. Maybe on the next one I won't put as much mushrooms in there. Instead of halfway, maybe we'll only fill up this next one to about a third. And then basically with this, once you have your tincture started, you want to give it about 6 weeks or so in a nice cool dark place, and then that way the vodka can drain everything out. And then as long as you use something that's a little over about 40% alcohol, it pulls everything out. And then in 6 weeks when you go to drain this, you're gonna want to use like a cheesecloth to drain it, and then you can take what's left over of the mushrooms and you can put that with a little bit of water, and then pull out every last little bit that you can, and then add that to your tincture. As long as you're over to about 20% alcohol, you'll still have some shelf life in it. If it's below 20%, there's a good chance that you could grow some bacteria and mold, so just keep that in mind if you do that. But anyways, I'm gonna fill up this jar, and we'll get our second jar all done up here. Well, here it is, all done up here. They're gonna be sitting around for about 6 weeks now. With this, you're gonna want to put these into somewhere that's somewhat cool and dry and dark. You don't need, exactly a pantry, but if you have like a little pots and pan thing, put down there in the corner or whatever, or in your closet. As long as you just let it sit and let it draw out everything for, right around 6 weeks. And then while we wait for our mushroom tea to brew here, I'll tell you some of the benefits of this turkey tail. It's one of the most researched mushrooms out there. With mushrooms too, there is always that possibility of being anti-cancerous. But with turkey tail, it'll boost immunity, improves cognitive function, exercise performance, gut health, reduce inflammation, and then it also is shown to lower blood sugar in people with type 2 diabetes. So with all that, to me it seems to be worth our time to head out to the bush, find it, pick it, bring it home, and then either make some tea with it, make up a little tincture, or if you dehydrate it and grind it up, you can turn it into capsules. But anyways, now you got a little bit more info on the benefits of it. We're going to wait till our tea brews, and then I'll let you know how that stuff tastes. We've been having this stewing along here for a little bit. It's got nice and dark brown now. So what we're going to be doing here next, I'll get my French press, put her in there, push down the old plunger, and then we'll be having some tea. Well, one thing that you'll notice right away, you don't get nearly as much water out as you put in. So this thing here was filled up about halfway. The mushrooms there, they soak up quite a bit of water, but I squeeze out about as much as I can. But I got my tea in the old Rocky Boy mug. If you guys want to buy one of these mugs, I have a little link for our store underneath there. Pretty well anything with the Rocky Boy logo, all the proceeds from that go towards a local animal shelter. So if you guys want to help those guys out, you can hit the little link, go to our online merchandise store, and pick up some Rocky Boy merchandise or just some regular plain Buick Outdoors merchandise. But anyways, this tea, you know, if you've ever made birch syrup before, it almost smells like that, minus the sweetness. Be about the best way I can describe that. I've made birch syrup quite a bit, so if you guys want to see that, I'll also put a link to that video down below. But now, the moment you guys have all been waiting for, we're going to give this a test. You know what? That actually tastes just like a really good kind of black tea. It tastes good. There's no mushroom taste to it at all. It's kind of just like yeah, like identical to like an English breakfast tea kind of a thing. But also one thing, if you guys don't want to go through all of the trouble to making this yourself, you can go online and find stuff like this. This one's from Forage Hyperfoods, turkey tail tincture, and this one's a dual extract. So that means that they did the alcohol extract, and then they took all the mushrooms afterwards, put into some water, and pulled out as much as possible, and then made a little tincture. Comes with a little drop. I actually don't know how much this one is. This one was actually gifted to me by somebody in town here. So if the local guy is watching this, thank you very much. We're using this almost every day, and we decided to try making our own as well. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you subscribe to the channel and come back in a few weeks when our alcohol tincture is done, I'll make up another video on how we fill up the tincture jars and do the dual extract as well. But anyways, guys, I hope you liked that. If you did, hit that like button down the bottom, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment or two. Catch you on the next one.